Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Brahma Mira Striparan Takare Banu Shashi Vamisito Buddhisha Gurusha Shukra Shani Rahu Ketiva Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om. Greetings and welcome to another episode of KozmicKev100, your weekly astro video zine, where we take the signs of the zodiac, the planets, the houses, and make it real to you every week. And if you're new to this program, I would love it for you to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button, and I keep your comments coming. I just welcome them, appreciate all of you. NM, Valerie, Shant, there's so many more of you to consider, because you're everywhere, and I want you to have like the most peaceful, wonderful, powerful week possible. So this episode is for December 2nd through the 8th of 2022. And what are we looking at right now? Well, first of all, let's look at where the moon is. In the sidereal constellation, we would find the moon in actually a constellation of Pisces. In the middle of Pisces is part of the sky called Uttara Bhadrapada, which is like the tail end of the funeral pyre. Its ruling deity is Adhirabhunya, and he's like known as the serpent of the deep, and he's actually about the cosmic sky, and that the sky is kind of like an ocean of stars. And the tail end of the funeral pyre, we're gone, we're done, we're ready for that next thing. It's like the wind could carry us off. It's a Saturn-ruled nakshatra. All Saturn-ruled nakshatras seem to be very good, because nakshatras, the lunar mansions, are like the vata, the air and ether side of us, which manifest thoughts, manifest our way of guiding ourselves, guiding soul purpose. And Uttara Bhadrapada, they tend to have grandkids, and they tend to be generous. They're not quite as inflamed as Purva Bhadrapada. And so, there might be a little bit more of a chilled out vibe today. We're kind of paying attention to our imagination. Tomorrow's lunar mansion will be Ravati, which will be like the crossroads. Neptune goes direct tomorrow. I think that's something interesting to note. And by Sunday, moon will be in Ashvini. It'll be all about healing, and moon's in Taurus in Western astrology. So the moon's in Aries in tropical astrology today, tropical zodiac. So that also brings about new starts. The other thing happening this week is that on Wednesday we have ourselves a full moon, and that happens at 8:08 p.m. So it'll be really full right as the sun goes down and the moon comes up this Wednesday. And of course the full moon is going to be in Gemini, but it should be, I imagine it's in Rohini Nakshatra of Taurus. If we look at the constellation of Taurus, it's Rohini. Rohini is beautiful. It's a moon ruled by the moon. It's associated with perfumes. It's associated with super attractive, sexy people. And it's associated with nice cars, vehicles, food. It's ruled by Brahma, the creator. And, overall it should be a happy vibe on December 7th. I want to wish my friend Gordy Oliver a happy birthday for December 7th. I know he's, I think he's turning 75, if I'm not mistaken, that day. So right on, Gordy. Keep on pushing through, So, looking at this week in Western astrology, we'd say the sun's in Sagittarius. The sun's actually moving through the constellation of Scorpio, if we're astronomically. Sagittarius in the tropical zodiac, its key phrase is I see. So this is a time for visualization of what we want. And this is kind of like the time where the sun is crashing down, it's getting smaller. I mean, it's getting closer to the Earth actually, but it's at an angle where we get less and less light. So it's like this place of release, you know, and this week it's moving through the nakshatra of Jyeshta, meaning oldest sister, you know, and so there's sort of like, over these next 2 weeks, we might feel sort of like this competition vibe of like, you know, this race to the finish. And it's just really important to give yourself a break, you know, whatever you're doing. And have self-compassion. So with that said, I'm going straight into Aries. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. And these will be tropical horoscope forecasts for right now. You know, the more common Western astrology. So you're ruled by Mars. Mars is in Gemini. Mars is going retrograde. Mars is in your third house. That's a good place because Mars is the karaka of the third house. It's the activator of the third house. Third house gives us courage. Third house is about our siblings. Third house is about our neighbors. Third house is about information. It's sometimes considered the library of the zodiac. The third house is about working with your hands and what we do with our hands. Now, opposite of where Mars is where the Sun is. Sun in Sagittarius. So there's this relationship, you know, Sun and Mars opposite each other this week. You know, so in Drishti, they're looking at each other, and it's like, what activates your soul? That's the question. Sun in the ninth house. Ninth house is good fortune. Ninth house is foreign travel. Ninth house is higher education, higher information. You know, whereas the third house is mostly like grade school through high school, maybe undergrad. You know, about that. And but you know, the master's degree, the PhD. Going to an ashram, going to a monastery, learning a foreign language, going to a foreign country, really big trips, that's all ninth house. You know, so these are the things being activated in your life right now. Now, you know, Jupiter is in Pisces, and that's the 12th house, it's spiritual life. Neptune's there. Neptune goes direct. Looking at your spiritual life on a deeper level. Full moon will be in Gemini in the Western zodiac. So that also activates the third house. Neighbors, friends, siblings. Working with your hands. Doing some kind of creative work, some artwork. Being quick-witted. Those are the things that come to mind. All right. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Taurus is... Sagittarius activates the 8th house. 8th house is transformation. Venus is there. So there's a lot of things that are not necessarily in your control. You know, this is where you hear the wife say, I'm just doing what my husband wants me to do right now. Or the husband say, no, man, she's the boss. She's calling the shots. I'm not, you know, doing it on my own. Other people's money becomes an issue when there's an 8th house transit. Full moon, you know, full moon will be in your second house, Taurus. Okay, second house rules the mouth, the teeth, your neck, your lower jaw, and maybe even shoulders to an extent. Families, friends, values, money. You know, you might get a windfall. That might be the Christmas bonus day that comes in for you. It's Mercury moving into Capricorn, though, that would help you. That happens, I believe that happens on Wednesday. It's either Wednesday or Tuesday. I guess Tuesday evening. We're going, you know, we're going to have Mercury, or Tuesday afternoon, Mercury goes into Capricorn. So that'll be your 9th house. That'll help you learn foreign languages. That could bring information, make you a better student. Help you with studying. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. So, what it is about Gemini, you're getting a full moon this week. I mean, you know, right now for the weekend, you know, moon's in Aries. So that's your 11th house. So tonight's probably a really good night to socialize. Even tomorrow, you know, you're partying, you know, Friday, Saturday. Moving on further into the week. when we get to the full moon on Wednesday, that's you. You know, you become the flavor of the day. This full moon, that Wednesday night, is going to really activate our Gemini people. Beauty, travel, commerce. You know, these are some of the themes that you'll probably experience on that day. And all things lovely. Mercury moving into Capricorn, yeah, that's a big deal. You know, it's out of the 7th house, which has more to do with contracts and romance and getting along, to this house of mysticism and mystical purpose. And so gradually we're going to get more planets in that house for you as we go through the coming weeks. And so you're bound to be more interested in astrology and the occult and see a willingness to have and create positive change. You know, this every day till Wednesday night, you know, everything's waxing and building up, and after that everything's going to be like shrinking down till we get to that next new moon. So, which will bring us another positive start, because that new moon is going to be aligned with the sun and winter solstice and just the light returning again. So that's a positive hope to look forward to. Okay. Yeah, I know. Mars keeps you active, even if it is retrograde. All right. Moving over to Cancer. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so like, you know, a couple weeks ago it was Scorpio time, and that was like easier for you because that was your 5th house. It's your kids, your creative projects, having fun, opening your heart. And, you know, Sagittarius time is hard work. A lot of us work extra overtime during the holidays, you know, because it's the peak of commerce time in the Western world. There's a lot of consumption. I've heard people say that Christmas is really hard on the earth. And so here we are, and we're approaching a full moon this week. And, you know, most Cancer people, you know, they'll be said to be more affected by the moon, especially the full moon. And I mean, this moon being in Gemini in tropical astrology, that's your 12th house. So this is your psychic intuition. It's sort of a restless place. It's a house of losses. You know, I wouldn't do any investing or gambling or any risks there. And also, you know, it's like, it's a Dastana house. Dastana house is the 6th house, the 8th house, the 12th house. You know, they give us a workout. They're not that easy on us, you know, in general. And, you know, Sun's transiting your 6th house. So it's like, that's a house of service, working hard. I mean, it's like you'll make some money. It's not all bad. It's an Upachaya house as well. I mean, there's improvements that come in those houses. The Upachaya houses are the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th, and the 11th. So it's like, you know, we kind of work our way up in those 4 houses. But the Dustana houses, the 6th, the 8th, and the 12th, they're rough on us. You know, sometimes there's people at work that give us a hard time when we're going through a 6th house transit. You know, the good news is that Mercury goes in your 7th house. So what I see is like Cancer gets a sense of diplomacy. And then the moon will be, you know, will go into Cancer, I think, on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Thursday night, Friday, next Friday. So like next weekend, you know, you'll be feeling, whew, what a relief. Glad we got that over with. All right. Okay, well, it's backing down a little bit here. Okay, well, all right, there we go. Greetings, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. I mean, most Leos are, you know, if you're born before the 16th of August, you're a sidereal Cancer. And yeah, I have a friend who's also a Vedic astrologer too. We kind of joke about that. He says, why is like the one sign that feels humiliated when they learn their sidereal zodiac sign is Leo? They just, if they find out they're a sidereal Cancer, they're like, oh. It is kind of funny. But, you know, one thing I've noticed about Leos in tropical astrology is that they're often good at a multitude of different things. Now, did they get that from the sun? No, they get that from the moon. They get that from the sidereal Cancer. Is because Cancer, the moon is stationing every sign of the zodiac in a month. Imagine how much information, experiences you accumulate from the moon going through every single boom, 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 every month, every sign of the zodiac. The moon goes through what most people, or the larger fraction of the majority, it's not the majority, but the largest percentage of people, Mercury's, Venus's, Suns, about half the people, a little less than half, 40%, 30-something percent, are, going through things on an annual basis. Like, yeah, this is what I do this time of year, Leo in a month goes through the whole wide world in some ways, if they're born before the 16th of August, the tropical zodiac. So, tropical zodiac Leos, this is a full moon, so this is a big deal for you. This is, for most of you, this is a big deal. And the moon will be in your 11th house, which is a house of socializing. So this could be a big party. And Mars is there. And so you want to keep everything kind of chilled. This could be the football game that gets out of control, or the concert where people push each other too much to get to, or a shopping spree where like Black Friday, I warn people, it's like it's not worth it. Material things are all temporary. The best things we give are the things that come from our heart. And since Leo, your heart ruled, remember that. Giving gifts from the heart. Sagittarius time is a fun time for you. It rules your 5th house. It's all about your children. It's all about loved ones, how you love, how you express yourself creatively. And the more you can give in that direction, your heart's open, Venus is there, things should be good. All right. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. So in Virgo world, since Mercury moves into Capricorn, which is your 9th house, your 5th house, pardon me, your 5th house, Mercury moving into Capricorn, it brings this kind of lighter mood. You're a little bit more kind of a homebody lately. It's like that introspective Sagittarius sun. Venus is still there too, but with Mercury moving into the 5th house, you're like, ooh, I want to get out there. I want to write a song. I want to go to open mic. I want to express myself. I want to put something out there in a bigger way so that I can get grander results in my own life. This full moon's in your midheaven. It affects your workplace. It affects your career. So, and it should be good. It should bring good things out. Just show your versatility and your adaptability and just working with your hands, and that's going to come out positive and strong. And honor your ancestors, honor loved ones, honor older adults in your family. Send them all the holiday greeting cards. Just check in with your people. I think that's it. And enjoy your home life, and enjoy getting enough sleep. Enjoy your dreams. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Sagittarius time for Libra is about the 3rd house. 3rd house are our friendships. 3rd house is our siblings. 3rd house is the library. Venus is in the 3rd house. 3rd house Venus is about making creative things happen with your hands, whether you're playing guitar, painting a picture, or doing some of that Indonesian dancing or Hawaiian dancing, that kind of thing, working with the hands. Having courage, being curious, having a curious mind, exploring things, making friends with your neighbors, putting in balance, being concerned about the environment. It's Sagittarius, a special relationship with animals, and because of the Satyr being half animal, half human, and just about nature, how we're all linked with nature. I'm talking to these Generation Z kids that spend a lot of their life indoors and on media. Even European ancestors spent most of their lives outside. And it's like, oh my gosh. you look at this shocked look on their face. And it's like, yeah. It's like actually the natural world is the world of healing. The natural world is what brings us health. The natural world is what brings us life, and the more we can befriend it, the healthier we'll be as human beings. And sometimes it's better to read a book with pages than just focus on some kind of weird electronic screen. They're mesmerizing, don't get me wrong. I mean, when I was a kid in school, when they'd have a film instead of, regular class, we were like, this is great, Of course, we could do things in the dark, But you see what I'm saying, We love entertainment, but, the natural world really fills us. Hello, Scorpio. All right, so, Sagittarius time for Scorpio is the second house. This is where we make our money. This is where we engage with family. This is where we work on our teeth and our mouth, and this is where we find our values. What's really valuable to us. We establish our values in the second house, and we find our voice. What to talk about, what to express. Now, with Mercury going into Capricorn, for Scorpio, this is good. Scorpio could be kind of quiet a lot of times, not always speaking out. They're holding their cards. They're sensing what other people are all about, But, Scorpio suddenly has something to talk about now with Mercury moving into Capricorn this week. This weekend, I mean, it might be a lot of work for you this weekend. Just kind of lay low. I mean, Sunday looks a little better. It looks a little more romantic as the moon moves into Taurus. I think that when we get to the full moon on Wednesday, it's a lot of transformation there, and so it's just kind of like, might be best to just, let other people take their power. Don't, let them have their parties and things, and if you need help from somebody, it's actually, when 8th house transits happen, it's a good time to ask for help. So if you need the help, Mars is there, Moon will be there Wednesday, you got it. Okay, so greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your chart, your horoscope. I mean, there's been like a stellium of planets in Sagittarius, mainly the inner planets, the Sun and Venus and Mercury. Mercury's moving out of there on Tuesday, but what we are seeing though is that there's been a real, all things Sagittarius are celebrated right now. If you're Sagittarius having a birthday this week, like my friend Gordy or my friend Milo, so many others, my friend Clay Ellington having a birthday, so many good people I know having birthdays this week, and I want you to feel celebrated and in every way. This is your new start to kind of walk out there. Now, sort of like your season sort of culminates in a lot of ways on Wednesday with this full moon in your partnership house. Mars has been in the partnership house. But since maybe your partner's been a little bit agitated with you, but with the moon there aligning with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will fill the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Sagittarius. There's a copyright infringement if I ever heard one. Yeah, I mean, enjoy that full moon. It's going to be romantic. It's going to be good. I mean, this weekend looks great for you. Have fun. Get out there. Moon going through your 5th house. It's all love, my friend. Okay. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. Key phrases I use. I get the impression from a lot of my Capricorn friends, they really do not like the holidays. Christmas, Hanukkah, solstice, whatever you celebrate, it's sort of, I won't say bah humbug, but I just did. Why is that? Well, 12th house is a house of loss, and Capricorns are working from a practical mindset. And it's like, hey, I don't want to just be spending on frivolous things. I was just like amazed during Halloween, like how much money people had to spend on decorations. I just was like, whoa, wow, these people must really like Halloween. And I've heard that people are spending more money on Halloween decorations than they do on Christmas decorations now. I thought, that's really interesting. Now Now, whether or not that's going to make Christmas better or worse, I don't really know. I think that, Christmas definitely originates in the winter solstice celebration, at least in the northern hemisphere. They're welcoming back the returning of the light, which is known as Yule. And that, Yeshua HaMashiach, or, Yeshua Bar Joseph, that was more than likely born in, like, August. From what we know from scriptural records. But the Romans, they had this thing, well, now that we're adopting the church, we're going to make Saturn Fest Jesus' birthday. And then in sidereal astrology back then and tropical astrology matched pretty closely. So it wasn't like it is now. We've got these two pretty different situations going on with our astrology. And so, and it's okay. Adaptations are necessary. It's just the thing I have a problem with, and I think most Capricorns have a problem with, is that when we destroy history, when we want something that's feel good and fuzzy, and we won't acknowledge the truth. Oh, that we can't. Oh no, that's offensive. We can't. No. You know what? Life is offensive, folks. And it hurts. Okay, and there's no way we're going to stop that hurt. But if we don't have sattva, if we don't have truth and be okay with the truth, we're in a big, bad predicament. And so even though there's scientific ways to change things about ourselves or whatever, we ultimately have to come into alignment and being with what is, and when we allow ourselves to be grateful for what is, rather than to be intimidated by it, or have it cause us some kind of suicidal psychosis, we're in a better place. That's probably what I'll end up with that. We just acceptance. This is beautiful. Whatever you're feeling, even if it's uncomfortable, there's something to be grateful for, even in that. And yeah, you're gonna work hard this full moon, but it'll be nice afterwards. Okay. Aquarius. Loving you, my friend. You know the meaning of hard work right now. There's this, you're very goal-oriented, and you're very aware of what your obstacles are and what your limits are, and how hard you're going to have to push to reach that goal. That would be the first thing I'd say. This full moon is going to be delightful for you, because it's in your 5th house. It's going to inspire fun. It's going to quicken something lovely. I find Sagittarius and Aquarius make a good team a lot of times. There's something about them that moves things forward. I've seen it in couple relationships, and for some reason it works. I guess it would make a composite chart of Capricorn practical. They use each other. These couples that are Aquarius and Sagittarius, you can bet they're using each other. But getting to it, though, what we're seeing here is that you love to socialize, you love people, you're a people person. Sagittarius rules the 11th house. What could be more Aquarian than that? So you're celebrating life, you're celebrating this full moon, and you're ready to go. Okay, so here we are, Pisces. Welcome your horoscope. So here's the big news. Neptune goes direct. Neptune going direct, along with Jupiter direct now, both in Pisces, both in their own sign, both together. This is pretty rare. This is something really good. So Sagittarius rules your midheaven, how you work, how you perform, how you do your kind of karma yoga, working in the world. What talents and skills are you bringing to the world? Talents and skills that you may have inherited from your mother's side of the family. That's, I think, one Western astrologer taught me. And so you work those right now, and you make them forward. And I think the full moon is more personal for you this Wednesday. It's going to go deep inside, make you think about your parents, your mother, what brings happiness, fixed assets that you have. All of these things will need a deeper look at as we go through the week. And you're the one who can facilitate the show right now. You're the one who can set up the tables and decorate for the office party and make it better. And I appreciate your sensitivity. I appreciate the way you're able to let go of the ego and be inclusive. And that's really what I want for everyone, that they feel included. I don't want anyone to feel alienated from this natural world. I want everyone to embrace nature and to go to her first before seeking other sources. And with that said, thank you for listening to this. I urge you once again to subscribe. I love your comments. Please keep them coming. I look forward to being with you next week when we do this again on another episode of KozmicKev100. So like, subscribe, share. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tat Sat.